congratulate you on the victory. Well, I think it's better if you sit there because then you can move. This is. Okay, Magnus, we congratulate you on your victory, and can you please tell us a little bit about this game? And I will also translate to Russian.
No, I was inspired. I was inspired by the game of Sergei's star pupil, and I thought I'd play a line that he hasn't faced in a long time, and I thought that hopefully he wouldn't be too prepared for that. So what he did is a little bit passive. I think it was played in a game, Ponomarev Kramnik, if I'm not mistaken, 10 years ago. And I don't remember the exact move order in that game, but I remember it was something similar with bishop b4 at some point. And for instance, if I castle first, then maybe he can go a5. And since I've already managed to put every single of my pawns on dark squares, it makes sense to exchange this bishop first. He could also have gone c5, but I think in general the position is still a little bit better for white, since his hanging pawns in the center are more likely to be weak than a dynamic strength, because his pieces are not particularly active, and mine are well positioned to meet whatever he is going to do in the center. So he decided to just play slowly instead. I was a little bit surprised by queen d6. I thought his intention was to do this and put the knight on d6. And then I can never really push the pawns on the queen side, because the knight is very, very well placed to meet that. But nevertheless, after something like knight d3 with the plan of rook e2, then rook c2, putting pressure on the pawn on c6, we're pretty much playing for two results already, which is an achievement for white, of course. Okay, so now he's trying to transfer the bishop to f5, after which his problems would be much less, at least.
I'm sorry, can I actually ask about this situation? What do you think about this move generally, bishop c8?
Well, I think it's a decent enough positional move, it just doesn't work. At least as far as I could see. Since now, well, if he goes bishop d7, then probably I can play queen b4. And I believe, in general, the exchange of queens is favorable to white. For instance, here it's also possible to lose quite quickly. Knight e8. He tries to go f6, and to prevent knight e5 I can take.
И после конь d3, если черный играет f6, чтобы конь e5 предотвратить, тогда размен на d6, конь b4 и просто взятие на c6.
Of course, this is a helpful line, but it explains that black is already in a bit of trouble here.
Конечно.
So rook c7 is the logical move, preparing bishop f5. But now the problem is that I change plans and go for f3. So I was thinking for a while about this one, but I really couldn't see any good plan for him. So I decided just to go for it. And I really cannot see any good continuation for him
Я
here.
действительно не вижу никакого хорошего продолжения за черным.
If I manage to push e4, e5, he will have serious positional problems.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about something like queen d8, just playing
Ну, я думала о чем-то типа ферзь d8, размен на
some really
e4,
ugly moves like bishop d7
потом
with
какие-то
the point
такие
of e5,
ходы слон d7.
and then knight d5,
Ну, после e5, конь d5.
for instance, like this, attacking the queen and thereby not losing a pawn.
Да, можно взять, но тогда слон с d7 атакует ферзя на e4, и черные не теряют пешку.
But if I just don't rush and make a move like queen b3, I think I retain all the advantages of my position, and e5 is going to be very strong on the next move.
No.
So bishop e6, this is what I thought was the main line, but I suspect, well, now e5 can be met by knight d5, but I suspect that he just missed this bishop h3, after which is it's pretty much gone. I mean, I suspect he was only expecting e d5, and now he cannot take twice because of rook d1, and there are back rank problems. But instead he can go something like bishop f5,
Ну, тут возможно какие-то ходы слон f5, ладья
bishop
e5,
g6,
слон g6.
and while his position is not impressive here either, I think he can definitely fight on. But now he's just.
Но после слона h3
Now he's just busted, I think.
Просто проиграно.
I mean, bishop b6 is coming, and there are tactical problems everywhere. And for instance, if he tries to keep the king in the center, like rook e8,
то после взятия на d5, король f8, слон e6.
the problem, for instance, rook e7, the problem is that I go rook f1, and maybe he can fight on with rook e8. Okay, maybe just rook d8, and then rook f5, and it's still very difficult to suggest anything decent for black. And now, after d4, bishop d7, and just going e6 and then taking the pawn, and there's really nothing he can do.
И Magnus, I can't help but ask you about this very important game you are playing with Vishy Anand, who will be playing in a match. So, is this win somehow extra important for you?
Yeah, I think it's good before the World Championship match to remind him that I can outplay him once in a while.
Действительно.
Since obviously between us there have been a lot of draws, recently at least. But I'm not going to go around and think that he's going to have such a bad day every day at the World Championship. I'll have to prepare for the worst, definitely.
No.
To clarify, I don't mean to prepare for the worst that I'm going to lose necessarily, but that he's going to be at his best and not give away anything free like today.
Yesterday, the US tournament in Sonovi was announced, where you're playing, and Nakamura, Kamsky, and Aronian. This is a luxury test for the World Championship match, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it will be useful for me before the World Championship match, because I think obviously the match will be tough, and and the players there are in the St. Louis tournament are not only strong but also very tough characters, all of them at the board, and thus it will be a good test to have such an atmosphere before the World Championship match. And besides, I think not playing from this tournament till November will be too long a break for me. I'm still used to playing quite a few tournaments, and that's also part of my training. So.
And yeah, today's a big day for sports. Not only your game against Anand, but also the 6th game of the NBA playoffs. You must be looking forward to that game. Have you set your alarm already at 5 o'clock in the morning?
No, definitely not. So I'm probably going to watch that game either before the game or after the game, because I can watch them on demand online, and I'll just have to avoid any site that might give away the result.
Okay, and any predictions for that game?
Yeah, we'll see, but it's always well, not always, but usually a bad idea to bet against the home team in such a situation.
About home team advantage, looking to Chennai in India. Do you see a bigger challenge in the fact that Vishy will have all his home team fans there supporting him, a psychological advantage, or do you think that a bigger challenge will be the climatic conditions playing in the south of India?
I don't know. I think Vishy will probably get a boost from all of the support at home. At least that's something he should be going for. But I don't know. Right now, I just try to focus on this tournament, and as for the question of home advantage, probably I'll believe more in home advantage if a Russian manage to win a game at this tournament. Which, to be fair, I'm sure will happen quite soon.
Thank you very much, Magnus, and good luck to you.
Thanks.